Bohorodychne was deoccupied 1 year ago. This village, one of the most destroyed places in Donetsk region. 100% of houses are broken.
During active hostilities in the spring and summer of 2022, Russian occupiers made attempts to capture Bohorodychne, but Ukrainian troops returned the village under their control each time. After the final liberation of the village by the Ukrainian Defense Forces, 2 civilians lived there, so the city was called dead. There are only ruins here, but after the occupation, people returned to their homeland.
I can't the zucchini, this is the rest of them. I need to give it to someone, but to whom?
Pensioner Lyubov was born and raised in Bohorodychne. During the Russian occupation, the woman left and returned only in the spring of this year. All that was left of her house was the basement, and it was there that Lyubov set up temporary housing for herself. She says she doesn't want to leave anymore.
At home, and my soul rejoices that I am at home, on my land. This is my homeland, my Ukraine. This is my native Ukraine.
The locals did not want to live under occupation, so they found any way to get out of the village. Many turned to Ukrainian military for help.
I went to a higher position and the military took me away. Well, I lived there for 2 days in the trenches under such shelling that they couldn't take me out.
Before the Russian invasion, Vahtank had his own small business. The man was engaged in cargo transportation. After the visit of the so-called liberators to the village, he had practically nothing left. In place of the garage, there were ruins, and the house was destroyed by Russian shells. Even the basement, which Vahtank equipped it in case of shelling, did not survive.
Here my son slept, here my wife, and there I am. We had a potbelly stove there. I had already taken it out into the yard. The wall doesn't end yet. You see how thick it is. I thought it was thinner. It came from the other side and flew out with a shockwave. Everything here was littered.
Locals react with ridicule to information that Putin's troops want to recapture their territories.
A lot of people want something. This does not mean that this will happen. I actually want them all to die on the same day.
Vahtank and his family decided to spend the winter in the broken house. They are rushing to partially repair it before the cold weather sets in. The charity organization UATV provided the victims with construction materials. The foundation also has a construction team.
Check the bottom one, just like that, straight along the thread and place it.
There are plenty of problems in Bohorodychne, but most of all, locals want mine clearance to be carried out. Now only roads have been cleared of explosive objects.
Not that we hope that this will start the process of returning. We hope that this will be the first step to break this vicious circle. We helped people, perhaps the authorities will think about mine clearance. Or at least if people decide to return next year, then at least locally the mining should be carried out.
Over the course of a year, just over 3 dozen people returned to the village. Locals say that volunteers help everyone. Even hot lunches are delivered to people across the broken bridge from neighboring Sviatohirsk. 700 people lived here before the start of full-scale war. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Aliona Gramova, UATV News.